Hi students, how are you? This is our fourth lecture of motion in a straight line. And in the previous lecture, we were discussing about the equations related to the average speed and average velocity. Okay, so hoping all of you go through that videos. You have studied it very well. You know how to take the average speed and average velocity in various cases. And today, we are going to one or two numericals related to it. Okay. And in the first question, it is given that a man in his car, okay, a man in his car starts from or moves in a straight line. Moves in a straight line means straight road. From his home to market with a speed to market which is 5 kilometers from his home. With a speed 40 kilometers per hour and returns back with a speed 60 kilometers per hour. Find the average speed. The question is find the average speed and average velocity. Okay, this is the question. So what is the question? A man in his car moves in a straight road from his home to a market which is 5 kilometers apart from his home. With the speed of, he moves from his home to market in a straight road with a speed of 40 kilometers per hour and then returns back to his home with a speed of 60 kilometers per hour. The question is find the average speed and the average velocity during the whole trip. The question is find the average speed and average velocity during the whole trip. Okay, so what is the distance between his home and the market? It is given 5 kilometers. Okay, so when he comes back also his distance is 5 kilometers. But he moves from home to market with a speed of 40 kilometers per hour and returns back with a speed of 60 kilometers per hour. Okay, kilometer per hour. So at first we have to take average speed. Average speed is equal to total distance. You know it. Total distance traveled by total time taken. Okay, total distance traveled by total time. From home to market, the distance is 5 kilometers. From market to home, again the distance is 5 kilometers. That is, two equal distances are travelled with unequal speed. S and S are travelled with V1 and V2. Is it clear? Okay. From home to market, it is 5 kilometers. From market to home, again 5 kilometers. Two equal distances are travelled with unequal speed. What was the equation to find the average speed? Tell me. You have to by heart the equations. Tell me. Yes, it is 2 by 1 by V1 plus 1 by V2. Is there any confusion? If you have any doubt, you have to go to the lecture number 3 of motion in straight line. There we have discussed it in very detail. Okay, so if you feel any problem here, just you go back to the previous lecture 3 and study it understood it and do the problem. Then it becomes perfect. Okay. So it becomes 2 by 1 by V1 plus 1 by V2. And on solving it becomes 2 by, here it is V1, V2, and on numerator it becomes V1 plus V2. Okay. On solving again it becomes 2 V1, V2 by V1 plus V2. So now the V average, speed, V average becomes 2 V1, V2 by V1 plus V2. Okay. Substituting the value, 2 into V1 is 40, V2 is 60 by 40 plus 60. 2 into 4, 8, 8 into 6, 48. 8 6 are 48, 2 zeros. 40 plus 60, 100. Okay, then cancelling zeros, we will get 48 kilometer per hour is the average speed of the car and the man. Okay, is there any doubt? From home to market, it is 5 kilometer. From market to home, again 5 kilometer. Okay, that is equal distance are travelled with unequal speed. The equation was n by 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2 plus up to 1 by vn. Okay, here 2 equal distance. So 2 by 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2. On solving this, you will get 2 v1 v2 by v1 plus v2, and substituting the values, the answer is 48 km per hour. Is it clear? Pause the video and do the question. Okay, hoping you understood. If you understood this, find the second question. The second question is average velocity. You have to find average velocity. The same thing we have to do. Now, average velocity is equal to, we have to write, where we write here. Average velocity is equal to total displacement by total time taken. Okay, so tell me what is the total displacement here? 5 kilometers from home to market. Then again 5 kilometers from market to home. So what is the total displacement? It is whether it is S and S, whether it is 5 plus 5, 10 kilometers. No, displacement is a vector quantity. From home to market, if it is plus 5 kilometer, from market to home, it becomes minus 5 kilometer. It is a vector quantity. So what is the net displacement from home to market and from market to home back? The net displacement becomes plus 5 minus 5, 0. So what is V average? That is average velocity. We will write like that. Average velocity of the trip becomes 0. Is it clear? Average speed is equal to 48 km per hour and average velocity becomes 0. Okay. Is it clear? Because speed is a scalar quantity, we don't have to take the direction, just take the magnitudes only. But velocity is a vector quantity, the total displacement in the whole trip is now equal to 0. So, average velocity also becomes 0. Since the displacement is 0, average velocity is also equal to 0. Okay, you understood? Okay, pause the video and take the notes. Try to understand it very clearly. Okay, is it clear? So, till you go through the question once more, may I rub this board? So, we are discussing about our average speed and average velocity. Okay. For both of them, the equation is same. But one quantity is scalar quantity and the other quantity is vector quantity. So, you have to consider the direction also when we take displacement and velocity. Average velocity and displacement. Okay. Is it clear? Okay, we are going to the next question. In second question, it is given that a body traveling along a straight line. A body traveling along a straight line covers 1/3 of the total distance with a speed or with a velocity 4 meters per second, and the remaining part in two equal time intervals. With speeds or with velocities 3 meters per second and 5 meters per second. The question is, find the average velocity of the whole trip. Okay, so find the average velocity of the whole trip. This is the question. Read the question. Okay, always when a numerical question is given to you, you have to read the question 2 times. You have to understand the questions, then only we can do it correctly. Okay, you have to practice that. So, in the question, it is given that a body traveling along a straight line, covers 1/3 of the total distance. That means, suppose a body travels from this point to this point, and the total distance is s. From here to here, the total distance is s. Okay, a body travels from A to B. This point A, this point is B. And the total distance is s. But it travels in such a way that it covers 1/3 of the total distance. It covers 1/3 of the total distance with a velocity of 4 meters per second. Okay, that is, if the total distance is divided into 3 equal parts, what is 1/3? If it is divided into 3 parts, take 1 part. That is, the total distance is divided into 3 parts. First part, second part, third part. Then the first, that is S1 is equal to, the first part is 1/3 of S. The first part, 1/3 of S, is travelled with a speed V1 is equal to 4 meters per second. Okay, it is travelled with a speed 4 meters per second. This is second, 4 meters per second. Okay, then the remaining part, that means from this point to this point, what will be that remaining part? The remaining part, if this is 1/3s, what will be the remaining? 1/3s, 1/3s. That is, the second part is 2/3s. Is it clear? The remaining means 2/3s. The remaining part is travelled in 2 equal time intervals. Then it is said that from this point to this point, it is not at all travelling in a same stretch. It is travelling in such a way that if the remaining part requires 10 seconds, from this point to this point, if it requires 10 seconds, the first 5 seconds is travelled with a speed of 3 meters per second, and the remaining 5 seconds is travelled with a speed of 5 meters per second. Is it clear? The first 1/3 part of distance is travelled with 4 meters per second. But the remaining part is not travelled with a single speed. It is travelled. How it is travelled? It is travelled in 2 equal time intervals. From this point to this point, it travels in 2 equal time intervals. In the first part of the time interval, it travels with a speed of 3 meter per second. That is, this motion is divided. This part is divided into 2 equal time intervals. With the speed, V2 is equal to 3 meter per second and V3 is equal to 5 meter per second. Why this V2 and V3? Because already we have taken V1 as such. Is it clear? Whether the question is clear to you? In the question, it is given that a body is traveling along straight line. Yes, this is a straight line motion. In such a way that 1/3 of the total distance, this much part, is travelled with a speed of 4 meter per second, and the remaining part, that is the remaining 2/3s, is travelled in 2 equal time intervals. It is travelled in 2, for example, 10 seconds. From this point to this point, if it takes 10 seconds, the first 5 seconds, the next 5 seconds. If it takes 100 seconds, it means that the first 50 seconds, the remaining 50 seconds. In such a way that the remaining part is travelled in 2 equal time intervals with the speed 3 meter per second and the remaining time 5 meter per second. It is travelled with 5 meter per second. What is the average speed? Pause the video. Try to do by yourself. Okay. Okay. I will wait here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Time is up. Okay, kids, you may pause the video and take your own sufficient time. Okay. Now, I am going to take. So, what happens here? This is 3 meter per second. This is 5 meter per second. Travelled for the 2 equal time interval. That is, you have to solve this much part at first. Okay. That is, for this point to this point, V average. I will write it as O. Okay. From O to B. May I write this point as O? From O to B, V average. Equal time interval, unequal speed. What was the equation? Tell me. If a body covers 2 equal time intervals with unequal speed, what is the average speed? Yes, someone of you have told. V1 plus V2 by 2. Is there any doubt? Just to go through the lecture 3 of our motion in straight line. There we had discussed it in detail. Okay. So, it becomes 5 plus V1. Sorry. It becomes, here it is V2 plus V3. V2 is 3 plus 5 by 2. 8 by 2. Which is equal to 4 meter per second. That means from O to B, V average is, V dash is 4 meter per second. Okay. From A to O, it is also 4 meter per second. Okay, so what will be the total? Now we will take the whole motion together. Total average for total trip, V average is equal to, this is S1, this is S2. 2 unequal distance are travelled now with speeds 4 meter per second. So now the equation becomes S1 plus S2 by S1 by V1 plus S2 by V2. Is it clear? Okay. Yes. Then this is 1 by 3S. We will write here. Where? Go to this point. The equation becomes 1 by 3S plus 2 by 3S by S1 1 by 3S into V1. V1 is 4. Okay. Plus S2 is, no space. May I rub this? Pause the video and take the notes. I have to rub in order to show the remaining calculation, the balance. Okay. Pause the video. Whether you have taken this? Yes. Then now we write the remaining topic as S1 is 1 by 3S plus S2 is 2 by 3S by S1 1 by 3S into V1. 1 by 3S into V1. V1 is 4 plus here it is 2 by 3S into V dash. V dash was also equal to 4. V dash was the average of V2 and V3. Is it clear? What is 1 by 3s plus 2 by 3s? It becomes total s. Here also 1 by 3s plus 2 by 3s. What becomes it? Then you will write it as s into 1 by 3 into 4, 12 plus 2 by 3 into 4, 12. S cancelling. Then we will write 1 by 12. 1 plus 2, 3. Reciprocal 12 by 3. Again equal to 4 meter per second. So on taking the equation S1 plus S2 by S1 by V1 plus S2 by V2, again the answer becomes 4 meter per second. Just look. First 1 by 3s with this speed of 4 meter per second. The remaining part has also an average value of 4 meter per second. That means from this point to this point, the whole trip is moved with the average speed of here also 4, there also 4. So what is your average? 4 itself. 4 meter. So you don't have to solve this much because this value and this value of speed are same, velocity are same. So the answer is 4 meter per second itself. Suppose in this part you get this as 6 meter per second. Then you have to go through these steps. Must. Strictly you have to follow all of this. Just I have written all of this to show how to take for two different displacements if different speeds are taken. Here the speed is same, so the average will be also equal to 4 meter per second itself. Okay. Is it clear? So in this question, we have taken the two types. In the second part, time interval is taken with the speed. And in the whole trip, distance and speed is taken. Is it clear? So go through the question 1 or 2 or 3 times. Then follow the other questions also. You have to take the other questions also in order to become perfect in the numericals. Okay. So pause the video. Take it. So hoping you understood this. So till the next video, next class, you have to follow up to the topic average velocity and average speed. We have completed the first type of speed and velocity which we have to discuss, average speed and average velocity. The topic is very simple, but the question will be somewhat twisted like this. So go through the questions also. Okay. So till the next video, hoping all of you will do very well with your studies and bye.